Hi guys, hold on a second. Let me get live in all the places. And so hold the phone just a moment. And then let me pull this up on my phone. Speaking of phones, let's see, I believe it's. All right, hold on. Where are we? Why is it not showing up? Hold on. Sorry. There we are. Speaking of phones. All right. Beautiful. All right. So here we are. Another week, right? And I'm so excited to be here with you guys. And as you get here, make sure you say hello and let me know that you're here. And sorry, I'm just getting a notification here. And then let's have a conversation. I'm going to start off with the affirmation, really. But before I do, I want to remind everyone that if you haven't seen the notifications, today at 4 p.m., so in just a little less than an hour from now, I'm going to be live with my friend Christine and with my mentor, Stacy Lauren. We're doing a dating dare party. So it is going to be super fun. I can't wait to get on here. For those that don't know, Stacy Lauren is the creator of the Do the Thing formula. So she started all of this stuff that she's doing now. Whoa, it's amazing. But she began by creating this dating challenge that she offered up to people in her Peloton group. And then she just ended up it just grew and grew and grew. And people from there, they started podcasting. They just did so many things. And I've been in her community for quite a long time. I've done the dating challenge. I've created my podcast and so much more. And so she has stopped doing the dating challenge, but my friend Christine was, oh, sorry, I've got a hair or something, was having a conversation with her book club, and they were talking about different things. Now, Christine is married, been married for a long time, but they were talking about relationships, and some people were talking about dating. And she said, well, there's this dating challenge. She said, let me check on it. So she messaged me and I said, I don't think she's doing it anymore. So we reached out and she said that she would turn it over to us right now and let us facilitate one because she had people that was interested. Christine did. And so that's how this happened. And Christine will be the first to tell you, you do not have to be single to want to date. And it's because you want to date your spouse. Because one of the things that is really, really important in relationships is that you continue to spend the special time together, the dating time together, whether you're married or in a relationship you've been in for a long time or whatever it is. The thing is that if you don't spend some quality time together, not just in passing or just doing something, right, then the relationship over time gets stale, and that's when people start growing apart. And so it's a beautiful thing. So whether you're married or single, join us for the dating party today at 4 p.m. Eastern. And then we'll talk a little bit about joining the dating challenge if you choose to. But if, like I said, if you're in a relationship, it is a lot of inner work. And so it is still a beautiful thing to do. It doesn't mean you have to date anybody, because I tell you, I'm not so sure I want to be dating right now, but I'm doing the challenge and helping with the challenge. So it'll be great. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and share today's affirmation. And then I've got some notes for little talking points I want to make sure that I give you guys. All right. So our affirmation for today, and this will probably be everybody as far as I can tell. The thing that it's important for me, right? I'm a work in progress. No matter where I'm at, I am a work in progress. And that is perfectly okay, right? Every step I take brings me closer to who I want to become, or who I really am deep inside. I just haven't been able to let her out yet, right? So I don't care who you are. If you're a person who values growth and change and doing more and not just stagnantly sitting and just waning away, right? Then this is everyone. We're always a work in progress. We're always learning and growing, right? We get things that happen to us and we get tested a lot of times to see, are we still in this place where we fully trust that we're just growing and we'll be okay no matter what? And so I think it's a beautiful thing. And remember, anything that comes after the words I am holds so much power. So saying I am a work in progress, and that's perfectly okay. Every step I take brings me closer to who I want to become. That is claiming ownership of it. That is who I am. I am a work in progress. So how do you feel about that? Do you feel like you're a work in progress and that it's a good thing? Right? It's a good thing. Because progress isn't always this big, loud, and proud thing. It's not something that's like you went from here to here, just like that. Sometimes it seems that way when we're looking at what's going on with people, but it's because we didn't see the messy middle. We're getting the highlight reel, right? So it's okay because growth happens in those quiet moments. It's like choosing peace over reaction. So when something happens, you don't just react. You think, right? Or maybe you've had a really tough week and you get up out of bed the next day and you say, it's good. It's going to be better. It's getting better. I'm a work in progress. So just by affirming your progress, even when it's slow, builds this self-talk, this self-compassion, and it keeps you moving forward no matter what, right? And remember, small hinges swing big doors. So it's the little micro things that we do that actually create the biggest difference in our lives. And sometimes we want it to be this blast off, and it can be when you're ready. But if you blast it off all the time, your head would spin. You wouldn't be able to handle it, right? So things come like the old saying, what is it? When the student is ready, the teacher will come. And so sometimes it's being aware that we're just not ready. It's not ready, but we're getting closer and closer, right? Make sense? And one of the things too, and we talk about this a lot, is how we talk to ourselves. And I see people all the time doing that degrading humor, degrading themselves like it's funny. And they're wanting to pass it off as funny. But inside and in their subconscious mind, it's not logged as funny. It's logged as truth. And remember, whatever we say, our subconscious mind starts looking for evidence of that. So if you make some of those joking things about being fat, or some of those joking things about being lazy or being stupid, or whatever those words that you use are. See, I'm being very careful not to claim them for me. But whatever those words are that are not kind, that you maybe are just joking about, your subconscious mind starts looking for evidence of that. And that's what starts bringing in evidence of that. It's like this magnetic pull. It's drawing it in. You just said you were stupid. Let me find people that'll tell you that. Let me find things that'll make you feel that way, right? So we really want to be mindful of how we talk to ourselves because it matters. It really, really matters. So that's why doing these affirmations and the journal prompts is so valuable, because it helps us to kind of, even if it's only for a moment, it helps us to regulate. It helps us to boost our mood. It can even help us just rewire, rewire our self-belief. And I tell you all the time, if one of the affirmations, if we said the affirmation and all of a sudden you felt this, oh, that's not true, then you take that affirmation and you reword it to make it true, just right out of reach, but something that is believable so that you're actually getting the benefit from it. So I'm a work in progress, and that is perfectly okay. That is, no matter where you're at, that's okay. Your subconscious mind's not going to say, whoa, stop, right? It's going to allow you, because there's ways that you can phrase things that helps your subconscious mind to say, well, that could possibly be. Let me check on that. And then it'll start looking for evidence of that, right? And then just a second, let's see. Hold on. Where's my thing here? All right. I know we got some people on here watching, and I assume you're not able to get on and chat, but that's okay. I appreciate you being here for sure. And I'll just keep going. But if you want to give me a thumbs up or a heart, or you want to chime in and let me know if this is making sense to you, then I would love it. I would love it. I'm going to go ahead and grab the journal prompt for you guys. All right. Our journal prompt is, what are 3 small ways I've grown in the past month? Even if they felt insignificant at the time. Because a lot of times you notice things, the hindsight is 20/20 thing, right? You notice how it felt afterwards and how it changed things afterwards. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it. So the journaling is so important. And we talk about this a lot, because one of the things I say is the reason I want you to put it in your journal or your notebook and put the date, the affirmation, and the journal prompt is because, for one thing, writing down your wins, reflecting on it, and then the realization of this answer helps you to see how far you've come. Oh, thank you, Lynn. I'm glad to see you. Oh, and hi, Ellen. Good to see you too. So when you are writing this stuff down in your journal, and you've got the date and the affirmation and the journal prompt, when you come back in a month, you come back in 6 months, whatever it is, and you look back, you're going to see that how much difference that day made, that writing those down, because our journal prompt is, what are 3 small ways I've grown in the past month, even if they felt insignificant at the time. You're going to be able to see when you look back in 3 or 6 months, because whatever you wrote down, you're going to say, oh my gosh, I've grown leaps and bounds from there. And it's just like I share a lot of times, when I was on my health journey, I was looking to lose or release about 75 pounds. That's what I released. I really wanted to release a little bit more, but 75 is where I got. And after a long time, my friends and my clients didn't remember me being that heavy. I didn't remember me. I remembered being, I started my health coaching journey because I either had to make peace with being fat, or I had to do something about it. So I remembered that I'd been fat, but when I saw a picture of me back then, it was like, it was crazy, right? It was even more than I remembered. And so it's good to have something that you can measure something by, right? So writing in your journal and putting your thoughts and making sure you've got the date and everything there, it gives you such an amazing measuring stick that you wouldn't have otherwise. because like I said, small hinges swing big doors. Now your journal prompt is even the things that felt insignificant at the time, because it's those little tiny insignificant things in the moment that end up expanding over time that creates this amazing difference, right? And it's beautiful to watch, but we want to make sure that even when it feels like nothing's changed, your journal can prove otherwise. Doesn't that sound good? Right? So I'm going to go back to the affirmation. I am a work in progress, and that is perfectly okay. Every step I take brings me closer to who I want to become. Put that on your index card, the screensaver on your phone, your sticky notes. Put it somewhere that you are reminded that you are a work in progress, and it's okay. You don't have to know all the answers. You don't have to know what's going to happen next. And for God's sake, you don't want to know. I mean, there's an element of surprise that actually gets you giddy, right? Because it's the journey that is the most important and the most fun, not the destination. It's the journey. And so let's embrace the journey. Every step I take brings me closer to who I want to become, or who I already am. I just haven't let her out yet, right? Because all of the golden knowledge and expertise and all of the stuff is there. You just got to allow it out. And then our journal prompt. What are 3 small ways I've grown in the past month, even if they felt insignificant at the time? Now, you can write down more than 3, right? And when you really dive into this, you might see more than 3, but you're going to have to tap into that inner guidance, the subconscious. So like I always tell you, get out your notebook, your journal, put the date, the affirmation, the journal prompt, say it out loud with some emotion, some feeling, not volume. Volume doesn't matter. Emotion, feeling, right? And then set a timer for 10 to 15 minutes and just sit in silence. Now I'm going to share really quick. I was having this morning, I had, or was it yesterday? It was yesterday. Yesterday, I got up and I got on the computer and realized that I had messed up with one of the things that I had scheduled. So it had me feeling a little icky, right? A little anxious. And then from there, I had someone reach out that said, I thought we were going to be doing this on Monday and I didn't see anything about it. Are we still doing this? And all of a sudden I thought, oh my gosh, are we supposed to be doing that? I don't know. I don't have that in my notes and I don't have that on my calendar. And so then I started feeling a little more icky, right? And so I could feel that there was the spiral happening. And so the only reason the second thing happened was because the first thing happened and I didn't take care of it. Does that make sense? So that's when I said, okay, I'm going to stop this in its tracks. I'm not going to spend my day like this. So I sat down, I set a timer for 25 minutes. I tapped into my breath. I said the Ho'oponopono prayer a few times. And then I just sat in silence. And while I was sitting in silence, luckily, and because of the way I did it, I wasn't mulling over what I'd just gone through, right? No, there was ideas and things that were coming up in me. Right now, I'm still writing that apocalyptic novel, and I'm really close to being finished. But it was like when I was doing my meditation, some ideas came to me about it that got me so excited that yesterday afternoon, I spent a lot of time sitting and doing the book. And so much so that I was supposed to go meet my son for dinner. And all of a sudden I realized, oh my gosh, it's about time to go. My daughter was home from work then, and it was great. and totally different day, right? So when we take this time in silence as we're doing this affirmation in this journal prompt, it taps into our heart, our gut, our instincts, our subconscious mind, and it allows us to have answers. So when you're tapping into the silence, you're just saying your breath. And for me, I said the Ho'oponopono prayer because I felt like I needed something a little bit more than just my breath, because I could feel that tension coming up from those two things. And I'll be perfectly vulnerable with it. I was feeling inadequate and insignificant in the moment. It was a lot, right? And so I was able to do that and to deflect it and get it to be different, right? And so take the time, even though it may not sound like much, 10 or 15 minutes will most of the time do the job. I just knew I wanted a little bit more silence, a little bit more me time. And because that's something that I am always a work in progress on, right? I'm always a work in progress because who do I put last most of the time? Me. And so that's my progress that I'm working on, right? So I don't know if you have something like that you're working on, but I'd love to know. And so when the timer goes off, you take your pen or your pencil and you put it to paper. And there's such a connection from your brain, your heart to your hand that when you start sharing on the paper, so much more is going to show up. And, let's do a minimum of 3. But oh man, if you have more than 3 show up, don't say, well, I've got my 3. Just write them all down, because everything that you write down to celebrate the growth that you've had, even when it's tiny, like that moment yesterday, that was a growth moment for me to be able to say, oop, I'm not going to keep going down this path. I've got 2 items on the agenda there and I'm stopping there and this is what I'm doing. So anytime you can do something like that, that's a celebration, right? And another thing that I did was I was so into my book yesterday when I was working on the computer that when it was time to do things like go pick somebody up or time to go to meet with my son, all that stuff, it was almost like I didn't want to do it, right? But it was like, no, priorities, right? So it's another work in progress. So what are the minimum of 3 small ways that you've grown in the past month? Let it flow. Let it flow. Because I bet you if you really look over the past month, that you've had some that were more significant than others. But make sure you even write down those little tiny ones, right? Because you've got this. You really do. All right, let me make sure if I have anything else on my notes over here. No, I think I got it. Wow. And in record time, too. Anybody have any thoughts on that we can expand on? Because that's all I got right now. Other than to remind you that at 4:00, so just a little touch over 30 minutes from now, Eastern time, so 4:00 Eastern, is going to be the Dating Dare party. And I would love for you guys to be there. And when I get off here, I'm going to be putting everything in the description, and I'll put the link to the party, the Zoom link in the chat, so that you can get that and join us. It would be great to have you there. You're welcome, Lynn. You're welcome. So I'm just excited to do this. And I would love to have some of you guys come along with us. It'll be so much fun. And like I said, I don't know that I'm wanting to date. We'll see what happens as we go through the different dares, but today is just the party to talk about it, and we might sneak a little dare or something in there. I don't know what Stacy's got up her sleeve, but we'll definitely have fun talking about it. And I really want to dive in with her as far as what all transpired as she was creating it, because it's been a while since I actually did the challenge. And so it's fun. It's fun. It's fun. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you for being here today. And I will see you again on Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern. And hopefully I'll see you guys tonight at 4 this afternoon. I guess it's afternoon, not night, at 4 p.m. Eastern. So in 30 minutes. And it'll be fun. Otherwise, I'll see you Wednesday. Mwah. Love you guys.